to another episode of OATS Uncut, Orator Academy Talks Uncut. We are unscripted, unedited, unfiltered, uncut, because life is like that. Today we have the pleasure of the company of two very bright young ladies, teenagers with lots of opinions and thoughts that they'd like to share with us. I have Esha and Saanvi. Hi girls.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you for asking. So, getting to the point, I know we were talking about this whole business of equality and gender, or rather inequality, in our current society. Let me start with gender inequality. Do you feel, now you're 13 years old, do you feel that there is gender inequality around us?
I think there certainly is, especially like in the US. Basically, like we're still pretty young, so we haven't experienced it in like the workplace, but I think in school I don't think there is that much. But I know a lot of women and people still face gender equality in the workforce and in inequality in so many places and countries, and it's really sad.
That's Esha?
I also relate to what Saanvi said, but I also do think that some kids in school really are like they hang out with boys or they hang out with girls and they don't hang out like together because it's not like a.
So there are certain stereotypes also that girls will be pinks and boys will be blue, or girls will talk in a certain fashion and boys will talk in, they can't be a certain way because they don't want to be girly boys or something like that?
Yeah. I mean, like, if you hang out with another gender, people just assume that you like them, or, it's not just because you're just friends. And it's so frustrating. But also, I feel like in classes with teachers, when teachers say be quiet, or if they say don't make any noises or don't behave, they're specifically talking to the boys, because the boys are the people who misbehave in class usually.
You mentioned about inequality in the workplace. I think one of you mentioned that. So when you say that, what is your understanding? Have you read about it? Have you seen it happening? Have you heard about it at home or somewhere else? Where is that coming from?
There have been some movies that we watch like a family, and sometimes they're about gender inequality, and at workplaces women get paid less and they get all the coffee run jobs and such.
Women get paid less and get odd jobs like, hey, get coffee for everybody, and they're treated differently. And okay, yeah, I've actually, a lot has been shown in movies to your point.
Yeah, like there was that movie, I forgot the name, Hidden Figures, I think.
Yes.
It was such a good movie, but it was such like a compelling story about that lady. She did basically what all the other people and all the men could do, but she still wasn't paid and she still wasn't treated right. Like they had a whole separate coffee mug because first of all, she was a black woman. They didn't want to even be around her, and it was so sad.
And the gender stereotypes actually you sometimes come face to face with. For example, I also heard that in the big banks that have these trading floors where lots of multi-million dollar stocks are played with every single day, there used to be no women's bathroom because women were not expected to be at the trading floor. And then eventually now there are a lot of women on the trading floor, but even then they have the bathroom which is quite further away because the closest one is for men. So it is, yeah. So gender stereotyping is definitely a problem. And do you think women, you brought up hidden figures. So hidden figures, women are hidden figures in many ways because in school you all do so well. But when it comes to careers, women take the back seat somehow, or maybe settle for it because they are trying to strike a work-life balance. You see your moms all working also. But as mothers, as women, they're probably handling more because they're also handling your lives and your schedules and the social lives and people are coming and going and all of that, women are probably more capable of handling all that and sometimes just stereotyped into doing all of that. So maybe that's why these stereotypes have gone on for ages. But what boggles my mind is also the fact that if a woman is doing the same job and still not get, and is equally smart, if not smarter, and yet get paid less, will you settle for that?
No, I mean, I remember reading on this article, I think it was about 70% of social workers or healthcare workers were women, like 70% are women, and they still get paid less than men do. And they do the same, if not better, than them. And they, like, it's so sad because they work as hard. They also, like you mentioned, they have to look at their kids, they have to mostly cook, and they have to do so many different things, and they're not compensated enough.
Also, in sports, women get paid way less because not many people view women in sports. But I also think that that's because the games go way slower in like a certain aspect. Some women's basketball games, they go way slower than men's basketball games. And men's basketball games also have like many cool tricks and stuff that you want to learn.
I think you had mentioned it in some other conversation that women's games go slower, so men don't like to watch, and at home we end up watching what our boys are watching, what the dad is watching and what the brother is watching, so we end up watching those, and that means we are also kind of only watching sports played by men because they are swifter and probably more skilled because of the physical agility. There is a disparity definitely in the physical agility between men and women for sure. So I feel another thing very strongly, which is that I immigrated to this country about 27 years ago, and I came from a country where we already had a female leader who was in that most supreme position for a quarter of a century. And I have now moved to a developed nation which still questions capability or the possibility of having a female leader, which boggles my mind. What are your thoughts on that, Esha?
I believe that that's very wrong. If we have a female leader, that's great. And in America, there hasn't been a single female leader yet. And with the current election going on, I also believe that there's going to be a new female leader coming soon.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really, really bad that we're already, 50 presidents in, and America is, like you said, it's supposed to be a developed nation, and yet we're so behind on women's rights for even just being the president. People aren't voting for women to run the country. It's wrong.
So hopefully that will be corrected soon, and not just because we want a female leader, but also because we want a capable female leader. I'm not the one to say just because we need to check off that box, we should check off that box. No, we should get a female leader who's really qualified and good for the job. So going back to the pay parity, disparity, and at workplace, actually, I was watching an interview of Sheryl Sandberg, who used to be, I think, a CTO or CFO with Facebook. When she was interviewed, Mark Zuckerberg liked her, offered her the job. She came home very excited. She told her husband, I got this job. He said, how much have they offered you? So she said, they've offered me a good salary. So he said, did you negotiate? Did you ask for more? She said, no, actually I didn't, because I don't want to lose the job. What if I ask for more and they get displeased with me? So far they've liked me and I don't get this opportunity, then what? He said, try, at least ask. The next day she went and asked. There was no discussion, they agreed. So it was as simple as that. She had that. So having that trust in your capabilities, the skills that you bring to the table, I think if each woman starts to understand her value, only then can she expect to demand what she rightfully deserves. But hopefully you all, as you grow up, will change our world and culture, and under your watch we will get rid of all the evil, so to say. I consider this as an evil because I feel it sounds regressive that this developed nation has not had a female leader, and we still have some discrimination and stereotyping at workplaces also, right? So anything else you'd like to add about this topic?
I feel like women aren't getting enough education, especially in certain countries like Afghanistan. They don't provide, or most of the schools, they don't provide education for women who are like going to secondary school or college. And they're as smart as men. They can go to college. They can handle it all. But it's just the country laws, and I feel so bad for the women.
Or be Malala Yousafzai, who got shot while she was at school because the Taliban didn't want girls to seek education. And she fought her way through. She said, no, it's my right. I will be educated. And now she's a Nobel laureate and highly educated too. So I guess sometimes it doesn't come easy. Sometimes you have to really fight for things that you think you should get or you are deserving of. So fight the good fight and see the change that in the world that you wish to see, right? Mm-hmm. So I think my last statement is be the change you wish to see around you. What is your closing statement, if you any?
I think that women should have the same rights as men and get paid as much as they do, because this is a USA, which is supposed to be a developed country, but it's not really a developed country when women are getting paid less and treated not as fair as men.
Fair and equal, yeah.
I agree with both of you. Like you said, for that example, what was her name?
Cheryl Sandberg?
Yeah, Cheryl. Or for the who got shot.
Malala Yousafzai.
Yeah, Malala. She was the change. She stood up for herself, and now she is an icon to the entire world. So I agree with you. If we as a woman want to be respected, we have to ask for respect, and we have to tell them that we need respect.
It's a give and take.
Yes.
I give you respect, and I demand some in return.
Yes.
You are as deserving as I am, and I'm as deserving as you are, right?
Mm-hmm.
So basically just that. So I'm so proud of you both. This is a very mature conversation that you're having with me in your early teens. So if the fact that you agreed to talk about this and you looked into this topic gives me hope that I will see the change in this world. Change affected and impacted by strong girls. My strong girls. I love you both so much. Thank you for your input and your time and your beautiful, hopeful thoughts. Be the change you wish to see in the world.
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in to OATS Uncut with Esha and Saanvi. We will keep bringing you great thoughts and ideas and opinions. Yes, we have opinions too. So stay tuned. And if you have any suggestions, feedback, please do send it our way. We'd love to see what you have to say. This is Vineeta Khanna signing off. Be well, stay safe, and remember to love and laugh. Speak on. Bye-bye.
Oats out.
Oats out.